Morning. So here we are, part 2 of the auction preview for the upcoming July the 31st and 1st of August classic car and online garage sales. So there's part 2. We thought we'd talk about a few more things that have arrived. The catalogue closed last Friday. We've had a few late entries, and bidding goes live this Saturday, the 27th of July, for the classic car sale that culminates on the 31st. So here we have lot 74, a 1964 Austin-Healey 3000 Mark III BJ8. So this was originally dispatched to America and came in from Nashville in 2004 and was converted to right-hand drive. Our vendor bought the car in 2014 as an unfinished restoration. Spent an awful lot of time and money, circa around £48,000, restoring it into what we see here and rebuilding it, and it really is quite spectacular. Guided at £52,000, so an awful lot of value considering the time and money that's gone into it. But look at it, looks spectacular, and it's black and red. So that's certainly one to watch, one of 3 Healeys in this sale. So have a look at the catalogue, and we'll have a look at what else is here that's turned up both for the online garage and the classic car sale. So keep viewing, some interesting cars in this sale. Yeah, so here we have a 1953 standard Vanguard Series 2, lot 20, guided at 10 to 12 grand. Quite a big old handsome car this. Lovely interior, fully restored about 14 years ago. It's only done about 800 miles since. It's been kept in mollycoddled under a cover in a nice heated barn full of lovely works of art. Really interesting car this. Big 2-litre engine, spot lamp here for a bit of casual lamping on the weekend. But unusual looking car, squat, big, wide, etc. 3-speed manual, but with overdrive as a Series 2, so effectively 5-speed gearbox. The vendors had quite a few adventures in this, had one in his youth. So this reminds him of the adventures, or rather misadventures, including some backseat action, we're told, but probably not in this one, not by him anyway. But a lovely car, guided at 10 to 12. So let's go and have a look at what else is in here. A 2005 Aston Martin DB9 with a 5.9 V12 developing 450 brake horsepower. And interestingly, in this one, 6-speed manual. Most of them were auto. Much more of a driver's car, this, with a manual gearbox. And unusually, this car has only covered 13,360 miles. So it makes it rather appealing on an investment basis, collector basis, or just if you want one, why not buy as nice a low mileage example as you can. Now, it's guided at 35 to 38. You can pick these up from late teens, or about 18 grand for a sort of relatively average early car, but tends to be high mileage and auto. But given this has done 13,360 miles and is manual, makes it a whole different ballpark. Now, interestingly, next to it, we have its predecessor here, the DB7 Vantage. Same engine, or thereabouts, but with slightly less power, 420 versus 450. This has got the 5-speed auto, and this one, interestingly, as alluded to by the number plate, is the later DB7. The early ones had the supercharged 6-pot 3.2 Jag-derived engine. This is the Ford-derived V12, same as this, and as I say, with auto transmission. A really handsome shape, penned by Ian Callum, and you can see the evolution into the DB9. Now this one has got a bit of a sad story. It's guided at only £10,000 because it needs a little work to the front end, as we'll see in a minute. Our lady vendor gave it to a chap in Cheltenham to sell. He said he promised to sell it. Anyway, it disappeared, took 3 years to get it back, and it was found in the north with various panels removed off the front. People having purchased it, believing it to be legitimate. Anyway, it turns out it wasn't, and the guy had gone bust and forgot to tell our vendor. Anyway, that aside, lovely car with some great scope here. Good colour scheme, beautiful tan interior, pipe dark green. And as you'll see at the front, when we pan round in a moment, there's a bit of paint work to do. Some of the panels are a little bit loose here on the front, but the car starts, runs and drives and feels nice, sounds good. But at 10 grand, do the work and enjoy the car for a lesser outlay, but still very handsome, loads of scope. So we'll look at what else is in here now. Both these cars are in the online garage, I should say, day 2, finishing on the 1st of August. That's lot 405, the DB9. This one's later on the sale, I think around 480, 484, something like that. So have a look at the catalogue for day 2, the 1st of August. So here we have an interesting car from the 31st of July sale, the classic car sale. This is lot 1. It's a 1965 Volvo Amazon 122S with the 1.8 litre twin carb 4-speed manual with overdrive gearbox. Lovely car. Our owner's had it, spent lots of money on it, helping it look as nice as it does during his tenure. He's only selling it because he's bought a 2-litre 2-door Amazon, but very handsome car, lots of fun, great quality things to drive, great owners club scene, and there's basically nothing you can't get for these. So lovely car, guided at 7.5 grand. Gets our vote. So we'll see what else is here. So look at this massive car. So this is lot 58, a 1939 Daimler DE250 Limousine. Interestingly, we are led to believe it might well be a prototype car because this model didn't actually come into production until 1941, and the logbook states it's a 5.4 litre, which would suggest it's the straight 8 of the preceding model, which could be the case if it was a early prototype car. Anyway, it's now got a 6-cylinder engine, which is probably the 4.1, as was commonly fitted. Now, this car was sold originally new to the Admiralty, which is when Churchill was in charge. So there's the potential that Churchill could have been involved or sat in this car, been in this car, which makes it, again, slightly more interesting too. It was then sold on to the Iranian embassy, who used it for a number of years, which must have been very grand around London in one of these. And then it went to an Irish political party after that, our vendor having had it for about a year. On offer at no reserve. It's a very intriguing car. Its history warrants more investigation. Might be a little tricky in some aspects because Daimler's historical records were destroyed during the Blitz, but that aside, there's still an awful lot of knowledge in the club, factory records, where they exist, etc. So, interesting car, on offer at no reserve, fascinating history, and huge. Look at the size of it, it's enormous. Lots to play with and do there. Look at this beautiful headlamps, you could use them for spotlights in your lounge if not. Great thing. Right, let's see what else is here. So here we have lot 461. Now, we wouldn't normally take MGFs into this sale. We have sort of criteria which vehicles meet and vehicles that don't tend to meet them. Now, if we put an MGF in, we normally get calls from about 100 other people who then get upset if we don't include it. But we've included this one because A, the chap bought it from us in 2016 when it had done just 5,000 miles. And now it's done just 10,113 miles after his 300-mile trip down to us from Scotland. So this chap has coveted this car, loved it, and it's in gleaming condition, as you can probably see. Green and black leather interior, walnut effect trim, and some parts rating by MG when they're building these from the parts bin with Jaguar XJS type ashtrays and things. But for an MGF, this is a absolutely super example, guided at 4 to 5 grand and just 10,113 miles. So hence you can see why we've included it. So this is in day 2, August the 1st. Guided at £4,000, so a lovely example. If you like these, this is the one to have, particularly 2001 car. So we're going to have a look at what else has turned up. So just as we were walking through the barn, I spotted this. Now, when did you last see one of those? A Polo hatchback. They did the G40 supercharged version of this, which was great. This isn't a G40, it's a Polo S. Done just 81,000 miles, 1987-88 car. But when did you last see one of these on the road? These are very rare and really collectible by people into this V-dub scene. So great thing here. Interesting. This will be in day 2, the online garage as well. It's just being processed at the moment. It's a very late entry. It'll appear on the website shortly. Okay, so here we have a real icon. 90s hot hatch, Renault Clio Williams Phase 3, which we believe there's only about 20 left on the roads, according to the website, how many left. So this car was bought from us in 2016, has seen very little use, has been in our vendor's storage with a load of other fast forwards and interesting bits and pieces. It's showing 111,000 miles. Not covered very many, as we say, since we sold it to him in 2016, but a rare car nonetheless. Lovely blue paintwork, typical gold wheels, really supportive, comfortable seats. These go like stink. I know you might not think they go like stink compared to modern traffic, but they go like stink. This one goes really well, sounds lovely, and is in at £13,000, which seems like pretty good value compared to some of the other cars in the market that are 20 plus. Okay, it was category C in 2003, but bit of near side front damage or rear quarter damage, but it's minor. You know, these things are written off for, you know, a tiny ding back in the day when they weren't worth any money. So now they're worth quite a lot of money. People covet them, collect them, respect them, and it's nice to see one. Lovely thing. So interesting car, this, worth a look-see for sure. So given where we're located on the Herefordshire-Welsh border, we see a lot of old tractors, given that we are in the countryside here. So this is a Fordson Major, early 50s or early mid 50s. It's never been road registered, and the vendor seems to have applied some blue paint fairly liberally everywhere. But it's a smart looking tractor, quite desirable, guided at £4,000. If you've got a small holding, this sort of thing would be pretty great fun and ideal. Could do one myself actually. Right, let's see what else is here. I can see a Bristol Brigand, or Britannia rather. Let's go and have a look at that. So here we have lot 3 from the classic car sale on the 31st. This is a 1985 Bristol Brigand, there's been converted to Britannia spec, including a turbocharger upgrade to the 5.9 V8, a Rotomaster turbo, and it's only done 17,000-ish miles since. But these are an interesting car, you know, a real sort of left field choice for somebody who didn't want to go down the usual Bentley or Aston Martin route. So these are very expensive, well finished, quality cars, and as we pointed out in the previous video, these side panels here lift away and you can store your spare wheel or battery, etc. in them. Proper 4-seat coupe automatic transmission with a Chrysler Torque-Flight gearbox. This is guided at £35,000, an awful lot of car for the money. Bristols are never cheap. It's had later wheels put on it here, and a lot of power from its 5.9 turbo. The factory claim 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds, which given its size and weight is pretty darn impressive. Massive torque, lots of car. You know, if you love the styling, this is going to be right up your street. Interesting thing for sure, especially compared to, you know, the period XJS or Aston Martin or what have you. So next to us here we have a TVR Chimera 400. This is in at around £7,000 in the online garage day 2 sale. It's a facelift car with the doors that open from the button underneath the wing mirror. Lovely colour of blue. You can see it's had a repaint at some point, but it's not bad. Beautiful oxblood red leather interior with blue door cards. Nice thing, great noise, and it's done 79,000 miles. So it's sort of 7 to 8 grand. This is a lot of car for the money, particularly what Chimeras, because they're very usable cars. Great boot space behind the rear seats, comfortable ride, and the reliability of a Rover 4-litre V8 in sort of stock tune. They're about 240 horsepower. There's the high compression version, which is then 280, or the bigger 5-litre versions with again more power. But yeah, interesting little car here. Big fan of TVRs. I've had lots of them myself and love them. So keen viewers may remember that we got a lovely low mileage 1500 Dolomite in the sale, a blue one. We've actually also now got a low mileage 1850 Dolomite that's only done 17,500 miles. So what are the chances? 2 super low mileage Dolomites in the same sale. This one's guided at around 5 grand. Manual gearbox, lovely car, worth a look. Have a look in the catalogue. Here we have a 1978 Ford Cortina Mark IV 1600 GL. Interestingly, this is 2 owners from new, husband and wife. Husband stopped driving, it was past the wife, who sadly passed away recently. It's done just 28,300-ish miles and has been in the garage since 2014 unused. Prior to that, there was a sort of sporadic MOT history where it's doing 1 or 2 miles a year backwards and forwards to the MOT, but it's not done any mileage really since it was put away in 2014, and it's come to us now from the deceased estate. Lovely original vinyl roof, finished in chocolate brown, sort of beige velour interior. What a lovely car just to use and leave as it is. Try not to do anything to it and just respect its patina, its age, its low mileage, and its unadulterated nature. Great thing, on offer at no reserve in the 31st of July rather sale, classic sale. Lovely thing. Have a look in the catalogue for further details. So what we probably don't do in these previews is mention the bikes enough, which is something that we have in every sale. So this is a 1972 Yamaha DT250, beautiful bike coming from America, showing just 7,596 miles. The bike's had some useful restorative works done since it's come in here. New piston, new clutch, new loom, some work to the front forks, Euro style seat, etc. Guided at 4 grand. These are great bikes and have continued to rise in value and popularity. I used to have one of these myself and ride it in Sweden on the tracks there and trails. It was excellent fun, really handsome thing. And then behind me we've got this fantastic little kiddies tank. It's got a little petrol engine in it. Great thing. Imagine how cool you'd be as a kid rocking around your gardens or field in this, shooting paintballs or whatever from it. What a great fun thing. You'd be the envy of all your mates. And you can tow a trailer should you wish. But yeah, lots of fun, and we can all fit in it, interestingly enough. So all the big kids within us came out pretty quickly as soon as it arrived. Behind us in the photo booth here, we've got a rather unusual car. This is a very rare, one of, we believe, 7 facelift V12 XJSs. It finished in black. So it's a facelift car with the smoked rear lights, etc., newer front end, and with a V12 engine. So unusual, in probably around 10 or 12,000 pounds in day 2, the online garage sale. Interesting car, needs a little bit of work, but lots to like, lots of scope. So as you probably noticed when we've been talking about these things, you've probably spotted this beautiful 1971 Mercedes 280 SE. It's a 3.5 V8 in the background, lovely looking car, very handsome. You probably recognise it from some TV adverts, very similar car feature on there with James Corden for one of the insurance companies. Owner's had it 17 years, driven 100 miles to the sale, guided at 13-ish grand. beautiful tan interior. These are a spectacular car to look at. It just looks lovely. Look at it. You feel like you're on an old Bond film just being near it. And then behind me here, we have this 1978 Lancia Beta Monte Carlo Series 1 Coupe on offer at no reserve, fully restored and stripped down by the vendor. It's not had the best paint job in the world. He outsourced that this time due to ill health, and it's come back and he's a bit disappointed with it. It's perfectly passable, but you know, most people look at it and say, well, we could do a little bit better or improve it here and there, what have you. But great looking car, lovely fruity twin cam engine mounted transversely in the back, rear wheel drive, 5-speed gearbox. Very nice cars to drive, pure, light, dainty, great visibility, very handsome shape, gone up in value, on offer at no reserve. So the highest bid takes this away. So we just thought we'd mention this late arrival in passing, as it was in the barn as we were walking through. It's an Alpena B10 4.6 V8 based on the E39 5 Series. So if you, at the period, if you didn't want an M5, because they were 6-speed manual, you might have wanted something a little bit more discreet or automatic. This was the Alpena's offering, based on the 540, engine bored out to 4.6, about 345 horsepower. You could then do an Alpena B10S, which was at 4.8 and had a bit more horsepower, about 380. But interesting cars, very rare, all numbered, lovely interior, nice different timber, Alpena branded gauges, decals on the side, the famous jet fin wheels, Alpena tuned suspension, exhaust, etc. Lovely vehicle, very rare, guided at £13,000. Interesting car, worth having. I had a red one for a while and absolutely loved it. 4.6. Great noise too. Oh, cheeky. Right, we'll just pull this out of the way and have a look what's outside. So we're going to have a look at what's outside. There's loads more vehicles outside, including a Wolf Land Rover. That's the Remus upgrade. So we'll have a quick look at that and then have a look at a few interesting things in day 2, the online garage sale. So follow me. So much to our camera lady's amusement, she went, "What is this?" Because she's not from this era, being a millennial. This is a Rover 200 BRM. These were a high-performance version of the Rover 200 with the orange grille that she's just enjoyed so much, and quilted red leather interior and sort of turned aluminium trim. Only about 800 of these were built. They're a 2-litre. They go well, sound well, and are fairly rare now and quite popular, to the extent that Classics World magazine came with a little feature on it. There should be a link on the description. It's got a nice little cheeky dual exit exhaust, a Sebring one, so it sounds quite fruity too. Nice car in at £3,000, I think. So this is a good car, interesting investment potential. My favourite cars, they were nearly £100,000 when they were new back in the day, in sort of year 2000ish when they came out. This is a C215 series Mercedes CL 500. It's badged as a 55 AMG, but it's the 306 horsepower 5-litre V8. Beautiful colour blue, wearing AMG side skirts. Massive amount of car for the money, double glazed, etc. Soft close, leather everywhere, walnut everywhere, radar control, cruise control, the lot, sunroof. Anyway, it's only done 52,000 miles. The chap who owns it has actually got 3 of these. He loves them so much. And this is guided at just £3,000. So what a massive amount of car for the money. With keyless go, you can start it by touching the top of the gear knob. Lovely svelte pillarless coupe. It's just a huge amount of car for the money. As always with the online garage, it's aimed at 1980s or post-1980s cars with a wide range, from the Passat W8, Honda Civic Type R to a 3-litre 944 S2, and behind us over here 2015 Defender 110 with the Puma engine that's done just 40-ish thousand miles, 325 BMW, Jaguar XK 4.2, of which there are 2, and then here we have a supercharged Jaguar XKR in a lovely colour with these beautiful big BBS wheels, for example. This was bought from us about 5 or 6 years ago and just been sat in storage. V6 Volvo Estate V70, for example. Low mileage Alfa Romeo GTV, one of the very last. This is done only about sort of 60,000 miles, again in at £3,000. And here, okay, not what you'd normally consider to be a modern classic or Hyundai Coupe, but this has come from the same people as the Cortina that we mentioned earlier. It's done just 1,300 miles from new. When did you last see one that done 1,300 miles? So it makes it sort of interesting and appealing, on offer at no reserve. And then here, when did you last see one of these? An Escort Mark IV 2-door estate. Guys had it basically since it was about a year or so old, if even that, and sort of looked after it, used it as his daily transport. So thanks for watching. Remember, viewing day is Monday the 29th of July and Tuesday the 30th of July. Bidding finishes for the classic car sale on Wednesday the 31st from midday, and Thursday the 1st for the online garage day 2. So have a look at the catalogues at brightwells.com/classic motoring. You'll see when the drop-down menu of both sales there and the listings and the forthcoming sales. And if you've got any questions, give us a call or email us at classiccars@brightwells.com or phone us on 01568 61122. Look forward to seeing you on viewing day and for the bidding. Thanks awfully. See you soon.